Hello, Angelo Lambropoulos, Director of Lambros Realty, and you're watching the July 2019 Cherrybrook property market update. I'll get straight into it. Basically, this month, in the month of July, there were 8 registered sales, with a median price of 1.47, the highest sale price recorded at 1.86 million, and average days on market being 34. Now, if we compare this to this time last year, so July 2018, there were 12 registered sales in the June of 2018, with the median price of $1,547,500. The highest sale recorded was 2 million, with the average days on market being 24. Okay, so the general observations to take from that, so obviously we're 6 sales down in comparison to where we were in June last month. So for those of you that watched the June update last month would have noticed there were 14 registered sales. That being said, the median price still remains stable, okay? And average days on market was 42 in June, and now they've dropped to 34. So obviously you can see properties are getting snapped up a lot quicker. There's only 13 homes for sale in Cherrybrook at the moment, so I'm not talking duplexes or units, I'm solely looking at homes. And the suburb average range is about 25 to 30. So as you can see, there's a massive shortfall of stock, hence the reason you can see the median price is staying stable and there's good sale prices being achieved. As far as the open homes are concerned, we're noticing on average now, we're seeing about 15 qualified purchasing parties come through, right? So I'm not talking about neighbors that are coming in for a sticky beak. These are qualified purchasing parties, okay? So actual figures in comparison to pre-election there, where we're only seeing on average about 5 across the board, okay? So as you can see, it's tripled, and it seems to be going from strength to strength as far as inspection numbers are concerned. That being said, there's a lot of savvy sellers out there that are taking advantage of the low stock levels at the moment, coupled with the bank's easing of ability to access funds. So you'll notice that what we're seeing is, all within the space of 1 to 2 months, homes getting prices. So ones that were getting offers pre-election compared to what they're actually selling for now, we're seeing a 5 to 10% variance, which is massive, right? So as you can see, the market it's definitely moving. So the other thing also worth mentioning as well is none of the homes in Cherrybrook that sold in July were sold by way of auction. So I guess, because I've had a few of you ask me that question, and why is that? And I'll obviously tell the rest of you watching this what my opinion is. I can only assume that the savvy sellers have woken up to the mathematical inconsistencies of the auction method. The other thing as well is, a lot of buyers don't necessarily take to the auction because they're not comfortable with it. Not because they don't have the budgets, it's because they're just not familiar with the process. So there's a couple of things there. And an example, if I may, just to give you an example of what I mean by the disparity and the mathematical inconsistency. One of my friends was telling me her daughter there had a property for sale in Epping that went to auction. Now, the property there, the agent guided it correctly, so guided it 1.2 to 1.3, went to auction, and there were 2 registered bidders fighting it out, and it ended up selling for 1.38. Now, obviously that's the owners, her daughter and that were happy with the result, but you get this, the fellow that ended up buying it actually had a budget of 1.8, right? So he's there bidding against someone he knew was never going to compete with him. Well, whether he knew or not is probably didn't. But I guess what I'm getting at there is what the auction method and what a lot of savvy sellers are noticing is they're the sort of disparities. So whilst you sell for a good price, and the daughter did find this out afterwards, knowing that this guy had a budget of 1.8. Now, fortunately, they weren't greedy. They were happy with the result, the 1.38, because time was of a key importance to them. So I think the thing I'm noticing in Cherrybrook, it's not so much the time, people are happy to wait to get the right price, hence they're not resorting to the auction method. The auction method admittedly is good if time is your key priority. You need to sell. Yes, you'll get a good price to get you out of there and do what you need to do, but getting the best price, if that's what you're after, you can bet your bottom dollar that's not going to happen. I'll probably cop a lot of lashback from that, but I'm happy to debate that or discuss that further with you. So there's an example of the auction and the disparity, right? So the auction never would have got to didn't get to the 1.8 because no one was there to push it. So was it a good result? Questionable. Now, the quick update on the rental market. So the rental market at the moment appears to have stalled. I guess there's a couple of reasons for that. There have been a lot of people that have migrated from overseas to Cherrybrook who have been trialling the suburb, depending on what they thought. They would obviously look to buy in if it was what they were looking for. What we're seeing now is a lot of those try before you buy type renters are now entering the market as property buyers. So they're not circling around elsewhere. The other thing as well is you'll find, because it's sort of in the middle of the year, well, not so much the middle, but slightly past the middle of the year, there's a lot of people that are standing off, and generally what we find is it won't pick up again until the mid-October, where the school enrollments for Cherrybrook Technology High School start to come into play. So at the moment it's fair to say that supply is far outweighing demand. Hence, if you're looking to lease a property, there's some value out there at the moment. The other topic I quickly wanted to discuss before I wrap this up was the Hills bus. For those of you that aren't aware what's going on in and around the community, there's been a lot of the commuters aren't happy with the removal of the Hills bus services, and obviously the lessening supply, so they're not running as frequently. So that being said, I've been talking to people that on average their trip is gone an extra 20 to 40 minutes, some as high as an hour, which is absolutely absurd. So obviously the big push is to force people to use the train, but in so doing the bus route is taking an extra 20 minutes before they, at least until they get to the train. And when they do hop on the bus, they're packed like sardines, and there's been cases where I've been shown videos, and it's obviously on the Cherrybrook Facebook page there, where you can happily go see it yourself, where the buses just haven't stopped because they're filled to capacity. So that being said, that's the issue. So at the community centre, this Sunday, the 4th of August at 1:15 for a 1:30 p.m. start, there'll be a community meeting where there's at least, from what I understand, 100 attendees there at the moment that are coming, with an extra 300 that are interested. This is per the Facebook event page. So we encourage you to come along. I myself, I'm not a public commuter, but obviously I have friends in the neighborhood being in here that do, and I'm going there to support them. And if you're watching this and you don't use a public transport, just think of your, obviously our friends that live by us, and let's stick to it and try help them along. So if you have any further questions or more details on that event, let me know, or anything I've discussed today. You can obviously reach me at the office here, 0294810999. You can email me at info@lambrosrealty.com.au, or simply visit me at the shop at the Apple Tree Shop's office address, and happy to discuss this with you further. Thank you for watching, and obviously very positive signs if you're a home seller out there. Bye for now.